Okie dokie. Just a couple of quick little changes. So, one change is that if I use my game controller, well, in this case my controller, but the effect is the same with the game controller. Previously, the cursor would get stuck up in the input field there. You can see it's blinking right now. And if I barely tap the cursor, then it won't go anywhere. But if I hold it, well, it's working with the keyboard, but I guess I haven't tested it on my controller yet. Maybe I can't get exactly to 100%. But it should come out once the value of the input device reaches 1. So maybe I'll reduce that a little bit because not all game controllers go to 1. Mine is an example. Mine goes to nearly 1. Yeah, see, I'm only getting to 98% right there. 99%. So if I just calibrate the end point, maximum, turn it down a little bit. And so now I'm getting to 100% there. I'll just calibrate this real quick. Let me just bring it up a little bit more. Okay, and then I just got to do the other direction. Looks like the one direction goes all the way, so I'll just bring the maximum down a little bit. Maybe we need to raise the minimum if it's inverted. Oh no, I just need to bring this way down. There, so now it's going to 100. Okay. So now if I bring my stick all the way to the end, so it'll go into there, and then if I just hold the stick for a second, it'll come back out. So that should keep you from getting stuck in there to make it a little bit more controller friendly. That way you shouldn't have to use the mouse even if you accidentally get stuck in there. It should just come right out. Alright, so here's something that's new, is play from all saved. So you can see here's all my saved games in the whole game. And it gives you the level save name and the level name, or in the scene name, so you can figure out if you put the same name on 2 different levels in the different scenes. And it's a little easier to use this menu with the mouse. And then you can just kind of pick which one you want to try. So one thing that I've noticed is funny is if you load into the training levels in here, it still tells you to load the level even though you don't need to. So I'm gonna have to address that somehow. Maybe it'll know that you loaded in from here and then it'll skip that part of the training script, but it's no big deal because these training levels are dumb anyway. And okay, so then you just click the one that you want to play. And here's another new thing is now there's a little loading indicator. So, and then now you're already ready, so I just pressed F2 to begin, and now I can race. And then I can race around. Okay, so then if I just go over the other little thing that has changed. So previously there was this giant spaceship interior only for the drone right here, and now that's in all of the zero gravity vehicles. So the forward only, the rubber ducky, the one gimbal hopper, the vector vans. In addition to that, it's also here for the loader, the giant spaceship interior. So you pop in at the loader, and here you are in the hangar. Okay, and I checked, and there might be a few places where, man, the loader's kind of big. For this, you know, I mean, it's a much bigger vehicle overall than the drone, but I think you should still fit through most of the doors and everything, so you should still be able to generally access every space. And then also having the large size, it should make it a little nicer for when you're trying to hook up to some freight, you know? And it should be just a little bit more of a challenge to fly some freight around. So then let me switch to another camera I can zoom out a little bit more. I forget what my camera buttons are. So if you wanted to try to drive your freight around, you know, then you can do that through these hallways and stuff like that. Most of the other interiors I did not add to the loader, but this one has this big hangar right here. So it's kind of like, well, the challenge is extreme in some other cases, and if you really wanted to have that kind of a challenge, then I put if you really wanted to put some tight corridors, you do have these tunnel sections now. So you don't have any of the basic tunnel sections, but you do have these color changeable tunnel sections, and you can change the color of those. And then you can place them, and you can fly your freight through there. So that should basically summarize. So then to recap, you get this giant spaceship interior now to all of the zero gravity vehicles. Hopefully you shouldn't get stuck up in this text field here anymore where you can change your name or the color of your name. And then now you can play from all saved, which is the main thing that's different. So I know I said there wasn't going to be any new features. Well, I'm not really calling this a feature. This is just little quality of life things that, you know, I'm going to try to polish it a little bit, I guess, at this point, and I'm going to consider the game at the update cycle, and then after maybe a few more days here when it's been kind of been brewing, then I'm going to go ahead and take some pictures and post a regular update. Maybe to kind of give the status of the game. Maybe I'll try to add a few more hint panels around. Oh yeah, and then the other main thing that's new is that, you know, you get the loading screen should help you feel a little more confident because the game freezes when it loads a new scene. What's going on there is you have two ways that you can load a new scene. You can load a new scene, or you can load a new scene asynchronously. And if you load a scene asynchronously, you can still interact with it. But if you just load the scene without loading asynchronously, then you can't interact with it. It totally freezes. But there's nothing that you're going to be doing during that time, so I don't want to load asynchronously because then it actually takes longer to load. But that's how you do it when you want to have like the little bar that tells you how much more loading you have to do and stuff like that. So I'm not terribly interested in having a loading bar. I'm not terribly worried about it. I understand that people like that kind of stuff, and I like that kind of stuff, you know, it's not about that. It's just that, for now, I'm just gonna go with simplicity and leave it how it is, and then not load asynchronously. And then the loading screen is just gonna tell you that it's loading. And that'll be all. But then you'll know that it's loading. You know, so here, we're loading. And so some of these scenes take a little longer. And then you're good to go. Alright, thank you.